ain't never ran from a nigga. No, I ain't never. If I did come
Let me just let this load in.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Rob Zombie's Originally, Rob Zombie didn't want to do this movie, saying he was too exhausted from making the first one, but he eventually agreed to it, not only because of, money, but also because producer Malik Akkad told him they were taking the reins off. Now he can make a Rob Zombie Halloween movie as Rob Zombie-ish as he wanted to, and that's why this movie is much closer stylistically to Zombie's other films than his first Halloween, even if the content is largely the same. That is, a behemoth Michael Myers brutally murdering lots of people, including several naked chicks. And when I say these murders are brutal, I mean it. For my money, this is the single goriest movie in the franchise, which is why I had to leave out some of the most explicit shots or else YouTube would slap me with an age restriction. However, there is an uncut version of this account available on my Patreon for any and all supporters. And don't get upset about that, man. We did the same thing for Saw and it worked out just fine. Shot on 16mm film.
Hey, this agency thanks you for your hard work this season. What kind of backlink should I put on? I'm just gonna keep it like this. I need to warm up. Cause this is new. I need to warm up.
To give it that extra grindhouse grain, this movie at first may just seem like a grungy remake of the original Halloween 2 from 1981, the one set in a hospital. But it quickly becomes its own movie that explores more of Michael's backstory, as well as how Laurie and Dr. Loomis are recovering from the events of the first film. Once again, there are two different versions of this movie, and once again, I'll be using the theatrical one for the kill count. You know the drill by now, though. Tomorrow, we'll have a cut comparison looking at the differences. In the meantime, let's get to the kills. The movie begins at the Smiths Grove Sanitarium. Get it, Santa? Christmas time? Deborah Myers is here to give a white horse statue or something to her son Michael, now played by a different grungy little kid. Original actor Dave Fairch had just gotten too big since they made the first movie. Not like a famous kind of way, he was just like really tall. Michael tells her about a dream he had where Deborah was dressed all in white.
Like a ghost. Like a really beautiful ghost.
And in that ghostly dream, she had a white horse that looked just like this toy. Hope all that sounds super interesting to you, because we'll be coming back to it a lot. After that cold open, we're 15 years later again, picking up immediately after the ending of the first movie. Scout Taylor Strode is walking through the streets, covered in blood and carrying a gun, until Sheriff Brackett is able to catch up with her and try to calm her down. She's taken to a hospital, where she very fearfully asks if she's gonna make it.
Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die?
Damn, that's intense. Looks like she's not gonna die, but in order to save her, the doctors, led by Caroline Williams, are gonna have to perform a whole bevy of medi stuff, which is of course all done in real graphic close-ups. Meanwhile, Sheriff Brackett is cleaning up the crime scene, which includes getting the still-living Loomis into an ambulance and taking care of the corpses. When it comes to Michael, they strap him to a gurney and put him in a van that's driven by coroners Alan Hooks and Gary Scott. Looks like Gary graduated from the Axel Academy of Coroner Freakery. Ah, what the? There's only one take some bovine intervention. Holy cow, what a crash! It bugs the van up good, and most of the process, and the movie builds to death for all its worth. That is what crushed every soul, and Gary's all that seems to have his entire vocabulary. He's gonna fuck some more after he finds out Michael frickin' Myers lived through that cow crash just fine. Still wearing his mask, he grabs a piece of glass from the wreckage and calmly walks over to the passenger seat of the van, where he uses it to not only slit Gary's throat, but actually saw his head off entirely. If you didn't believe me about this being the goriest Halloween, it's not my fault. I tried to give you a heads up. But Michael loses interest in his noggin when he sees a vision of a white horse and his dead mom standing in the middle of the road. All these dreams and visions of white ponies. Maybe Michael's just a huge Deftones fan. In the hospital, Lori gets herself out of bed and finds Andy on life support in another room. She wants to stay with her stitched up friend, but Nurse Daniels, played by Academy Award Amy Spencer, insists that she go back to her own room for rest. Nurse Daniels is called away on the PA, but she doesn't stay a hidden figure for long. She reappears shortly with a real nasty looking face slash that could only have been done by the Shape of Slaughter. Lori gets the hell out of there as Michael comes around the corner, and he's not here to give Nurse Daniels the help. Instead, he slowly walks over to her and kills her in a brutal manner by aggressively stabbing her in the back at least 10 times. Damn, dude, I don't think she's gonna be able to get on up after that one. As Lori tries to escape, she comes across this nurse lady, I think, who's missing her eyeballs and whose body is doubling as an obstacle to slow Lori down. She's able to get around her all right, though. So, you know what? Next time, try a little harder with your body barriers, Mikey. We're in the midst of a standard Halloween chase scene now, complete with recreated shots from the original Halloween 2, until Lori winds up outside and Michael winds up with a free axe for the taking. Smashy, smashy! Lori makes her way through the rain to a little security booth that she gets inside of and hides it as Michael comes outside to get drenched in the downpour as well. God, he's got to smell something awful by now. This smelly mountain man gets another naked. Buddy the Night Watchman shows up, played by swamp tour enthusiast Richard Rock. He finds Lori and tells her everything is going to be okay, but I wouldn't jump to conclusions like that, bud, because after he pulls the car up to the booth, Michael appears and hacks him in the back. Damn it, Michael, I know his job seems a little unnecessary, but he had people skills. He was good at dealing with people. What the hell is wrong with you, Michael? It doesn't take long for Michael to huff and puff and hack this booth down so he can get to Lori. But when he gets inside and goes for an overhead swing on her, she wakes up screaming in bed? Wait, what? How much of that was just a dream? Probably just the hospital scene, though. I'm still count those kills. They were real enough for Lori. 1 year later is still having to remind herself that she's safe now. Should we tell her now or wait? Yeah, let's wait. Nowadays, Lori is living with the Brackets, which is great since it's an excuse to have more Danielle Harris and Brad Dourif. Their extra screen time was definitely one of the movie's highlights. Lori's emotional recovery from the previous year is helped along by her therapist Barbara Collier, played by Kill Count.
Bro, this guy.
Ass lady Margot Kidder. Lori's also trying to get by with a little help from a friend. After old ones were murdered, these new future victims work at a music store.
So if I'm not talking, guys, I'm just gonna watch this video. I'm still playing, bro.
Speaking of rock, let's meet back up with Dr. Sam Loomis, who at this point is acting like a rock star with a no brown M&M's rider.
Well, I'm not going in there to go get me a couple of PG tickets for this fashion film, and I want to just read out.
He gives a lecture to promote his new book about the events of the previous film, but after he gets accused by in a bit of rage, swearing that it's impossible, even though some scenes intercut with it show that Mountain Man Myers is indeed still alive and walking through a field right now. Oh fuck, we're back to that shit. Come on, what are we doing here?
Michael, Halloween, you have to get ready.
Oh, this is getting out of hand. Now they're all Michael is found walking around that field by four beloved character actors, namely Mark Will Jr., playing new David Boyd, and Pulp Fiction's Wayne Whitaker, playing Floyd Sherman. Hey ho, these here vehicles that don't mind trespassing, so they take a crowbar and smash and beat the crap out of Michael. Damn, it might be the only moment in this movie I actually feel bad for Michael. Ford's daughter Jasmine, played by and stopped the beatdown from continuing, but the damage is like put that shadow back on kind of fair. He kills the two men in quick succession. First, Sherman gets a nicely drawn knife, and then Michael turns his attention to Floyd and starts off with a knife in the belly. Michael then impales Floyd onto the deer antlers decorating the hood of his vehicle, and then goes back to finish off Sherman with his trademark super series of stabbings. Damn, guys, you should have brought out the GIMP for backup. At this point, Michael is growling like an animal. Even though Jasmine was good to you, Mikey, that doesn't stop him from dragging her out the truck and killing her.
You're
Michael murders
garbage.
But I'll be nice and not show you the part where he stabs and then eats it. Yeah, Michael
How did that on?
Don't act so surprised. He's been doing that shit since the first movie.
He got hungry.
This is excellent after not only because it's on screen, but also because it's intercut with family dinner time. Extra. Eat the dog and have to trigger a music video scene. Yes, here's some more multiple Michaels and their black and white dead moms. What the fuck? Put Krampus up a waste head in a blender? Because that's what this shit feels like. Michael said he found his baby sister.
My baby.
And then some hands pop out of a table and Lori wakes up from this festival of production. Ladies and gentlemen, just walks straight through a road. Home, which Dr. Lewis is currently using as a backdrop for an interview, despite his publicist taking issue with it. Yeah, Lewis has become such a dick, and not even the fun kind. It's just
Why did it double team on me? Wow.
Out of his office with a broken arm, and after bouncing around the wall, collapses to the undoubtedly filthy floor to die. Misty's by herself now, and you can call me an SJW if you want to be a dick about it. But I'm sick of Rob Zombie's Michael Myers murdering completely new ladies all the time. It's gratuitous, it usually sucks with the actress, and it gives me a ton more work to do. I've got to censor all the naughty bits. Like naked Misty is killed by repeated head slams into a mirror that leaves her a naked corpse. Great, let's get to Halloween already. On the big day in Haddonfield, Kraken reads through Loomis's book and gets real pissed about some of the sorry, it's not Shakespeare, Kraken. He's actually pissed because Loomis goes to reveal the big Myers symptom secret the dead walk alone, which is fixing to be a big deal judged by that line wrapped around the corner. Loomis is at the blast at the book sign and he gets an angry patron in the form of Mr. Vanderbilt, the father of Linda, who was killed in the remember her? She was the naked chick Michael killed. No, not the first one. The, he even tries to shoot Loomis before he gets ushered out by security. Damn, Loomis, you made yourself a this time. And he doesn't do a good job making more friends. What kind of talk show hosted by Chris Hardwick? Because, Sam, you just can't be that formal with Weird Al. Please, Mr. Weird is my father. Lori discovers her relation to Michael from the book and has a meltdown in a parking lot that continues. She heads over to Maya's house because, oh yeah, she's been here before and does a very poor job of the situation.
I don't mean you understand what I'm saying.
No, I do not. But she clarifies for her friends that she's Angel Myers, Michael's baby sister, and that it's all the news is book for everyone to see. It was fine. I was looking to get the book up. And although Maya thinks that Lori just needs to mellow light in, Lori gets Haley on her side, and the two of them are Maya and them for their Rocky Horror costumes at this bitchin' Halloween party. It looks like a great time filled with festive creepy clowns and what a shocker. Shaggin' wagon, so you know these two ain't long for this world. Damn, this dude's gonna try to bang Harley with his mask on? Real man got hard. Before they round another base, he steps outside the team, falling down there, Michael. Stab him in the back. Pretty uncomfortable. Not follow that stab up with like a dozen more, but I guess he sees the runtime and realizes he's gotta get a he busts through the van to keep things going. They grab Harley and choke her to death. Like as is seen in the cuts with her oblivious friends, damn it. They got a little bit of sadly, Harley is taken from the road. kills the cop with the neck snap off screen, but don't worry, we see the result of the kill later on in a close-up. Like Rob Zombie would have a non-graphic kill in this movie. Get on out of here. The vulnerable animal is ready for bed, and what? Mom watches her? Oh, that makes sense. Maybe it's because Michael's there in the house. Man, Danielle Harris's Annie doesn't deserve to get brutalized like that. She just went through that shit in the last movie. But after she sees Michael standing behind her and tries to run away in slow motion, that's exactly what happens. Although surprisingly, it's done off screen in audio-only form. Her screen playing out over shots of Maya and Lori pulling up to the house. After they get inside and head upstairs, the two of them find the results of Michael's attack and open the bathroom door to discover Annie's very bloody body on the floor. As Lori tends to her dying friend, Maya rushes downstairs to call the police, but after she steps out onto the porch to get the address, Michael yanks her back inside and slams her onto a table so he can kill her. He does so with the usual, a series of vicious, angry knife stabs to the torso. I'll go ahead and say it, this is the scariest Michael Myers of all time. At the police station, Sheriff Brackett is informed that they just received a call from his house, and unfortunately, it's gonna be too late for him to get back there, because as Lori holds her in her arms and begs her to hang on, Annie dies from the wounds Michael gave her in the attack. This character had a lot of emotional weight in the Rob Zombie films, and it's large part of Danielle Harris, and his death is one of the best parts of this movie because it's portrayed in such a seriously sad way. Props for that. Michael ruins the moment by slamming his way through one of the bathroom doors, so Lori escapes out another door and manages to make her way outside to kick off, well, you guessed it, another Halloween chase scene. Well, she and Michael run off into a house, Sheriff Brackett finds his daughter's body. It's a sad director's cut version is a lot more raw and powerful. You'll see it cut. After Lori makes her way out to the road, she flags down his body, puts her inside his car only to get attacked by Michael and slams through his own windshield. Michael then he-hoes the car up onto its side and flips it straight the hell over. God damn, sending it down into a ditch. And if the driver wasn't dead from all that, he definitely perishes in the ensuing fire. Like, for sure, there's an explosion and everything. But Lori was saved from that fire by Michael, who carries her into a